racing fans to Motorsports Radio's Weekend Edition, and this is the home of Motorsports Talk. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series started the Cup chase on Sunday with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400, Martin Truex Jr. in the 78 Furniture Row Racing Toyota, the winner there, and of course advances to the round of 12. Sprint Cup Series started its chase, and now the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series and the Xfinity Series ended its regular season. We'll start their chase this upcoming weekend. So a quick recap for the winners: Eric Jones in the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota wins the Xfinity Series last Saturday, which would be the driver safety for 300. On Friday's truck race, won by Kyle Busch in the 18 Kyle Busch Motorsports Toyota Tundra. That would be the American Ethanol E15 225. Now, Formula One. Nico Rosberg wins the Singapore Grand Prix, and as we mentioned on Monday, IndyCar wrapped up its season on Sunday, and Simon Pagenaud, the 2016 IndyCar champion, winning the Sonoma Grand Prix. Motorsports Radio is available, Long Island's Community Radio, communityradioli.com/motorsports, or go to the Community Radio main page, click the Motorsports Radio button. Okay, so today we'll go over the latest chase stats, racing news, and the racing schedule. Alright, so we're going to go right into it, taking a look at the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Now, let's remember that they're in the round of 16, but now their position in the round of 16 changed with last week's race. So we'll just run down. We're just going to go over the chase, just to make the things move a little quicker. But Martin Truex Jr. now in first place with 2,050 points. Burt Keselowski in second. Kyle Busch third. Denny Hamlin fourth. Joey Logano in fifth. Sixth, it's Chase Elliott. Matt Kenseth in seventh. Jimmy Johnson in eighth. Carl Edwards in ninth. 10th, it's Kurt Busch. Jamie McMurray in 11th. Tony Stewart in 12th place. Austin Dillon in 13th. 14th, it's Kevin Harvick. 15th, Kyle Larson. Chris Buescher in 16th. Now for the Motorsports Radio's jumpers and divers. A big jump for Martin Truex Jr., who entering the chase last week was in 6th place, so he climbed over up to first. Keselowski still in second, no change. Kyle Busch dropped from first down to third. Hamlin from third down to fourth. Joey Logano climbed up from 9th to 5th, and a big jump for Chase Elliott, who we just mentioned, in 6th place, climbed up from 14th. Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson in the same spot as last week. Another big jump, a bunch of them. Jay McMurray, who was down in the last spot, in the 16th spot, he climbed up to 11th. Tony Stewart dropped from 11th to 12th. And a big diver would have to be Kevin Harvick, who had a bad day on Sunday, who dropped from 4th down to 14th. Kyle Larson drops from 10th down to 15th. Chris Buescher drops from 13th down to 16th. Alright, so let's take a look at the chasers right now for the Xfinity Series. These are the chasers who just entered, and in this case in the Xfinity Series, the top 12. Alright, now Eric Jones in first place, the number 20 car with 2,012 points. Elliott Sadler in in second place with 2,006, and Daniel Suarez in third place with 2,003. Now everybody from 4th place down to 12th all get 2,000 points. So 4th place, it's Ty Dillon. 5th, Justin Allgaier. Darrell Wallace Jr. in 6th. Brandon Gowen in 7th. 8th is going to be Brandon Poole. Ryan Siege in 9th. Ryan Reed in 10th. 11th is Brandon Jones, and Blake Koch in 11th. Taking a look at the trucks. Camping World Truck Series in their round of 8. William Byron, first place, points leader. Number 9 truck, 2,015 points. Second and third place drivers got 2,006 points. That would be Matt Crafton in second with the double 8. John Hunter Nemechek in third with the 8. Now 4th, 5th, and 6th all have 2,003 points at this moment. 4th place, Christopher Bell, driver of the number 4 truck. 5th place, Johnny Sauter. Ben Kennedy in 6th. And then 7th and 8th place drivers have 2,000 points flat, and that's going to be Daniel Hemrick in 7th, driver of the 19, Timothy Peters, driver of the 17, in 8th. And that is the chase update. So for a Sprint Cup Series, so this is going to be race number 2 this upcoming weekend, and then next weekend will be the elimination race. Now this weekend they're heading to Sprint Cup in the Camping World Truck Series, heading to New Hampshire. Xfinity Series heading to Kentucky. Now, next weekend, we have Sprint Cup and Xfinity Series heading to Dover. So we have a Sunday afternoon elimination race at Dover for Sprint Cup Series. And then after New Hampshire, the trucks head to Las Vegas. I think I probably mentioned it a couple times here on the program, probably back in the day when it was racing podcast. But I really think it would be a good idea if we could get a night race at Dover. Because I really think a Dover night race would be a good idea. It's a nice track, right? Have it under the lights, and I think that would be a fabulous idea, actually. So a night race at Dover, throw that in there. I don't know, regular season or in the postseason, but should be. I think that'd be again. I think it'd be a fantastic idea. Have a night race at Dover. All right, so taking a look at what's going on for IndyCar. We're just going to run down the top 10 here because, as mentioned, IndyCar wrapped up its season. First place in the standings is Simon Pagenaud with 5 wins and 7 poles. Will Power in second with 4 wins. Third is Helio Castro Neves. Joseph Newgarden finishes the season in 4th place with 1 win. Graham Rahal in 5th with 1 win. Scott Dixon in 6th with 2 wins, 2 poles. Tony Kanaan in 7th. Juan Pablo Montoya in 8th with 1 win. Charlie Kimball in 9th. And then Carlos Munoz in 10th with 1 pole. And the top 10 in the standings for Formula 1. And the big news is Nico Rosberg, who knocked Lewis Hamilton out of first place. Lewis Hamilton, who's been in first place for almost, I feel like the whole season so far. But Nico Rosberg now in first place. Lewis Hamilton down in second. Third, Daniel Ricciardo. Sebastian Vettel in fourth. Kimi Räikkönen in fifth. Sixth, Max Verstappen. Valtteri Bottas seventh. Sergio Perez eighth. Nico Hülkenberg ninth. And Felipe Massa in 10th. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on now with some racing news. All right, so now we normally do the history of the numbers, but we did the 78 already, so there you go. So I don't want to repeat the numbers. I don't know if we'll do the history of numbers next year. I don't know, but anyway, we did the 78 last already, and then last week was the 11, and we did the 11 already too. So we're gonna go right into it, starting with the penalty updates. Now, last week mentioned that they're gonna tighten the belts a little bit with the laser inspection and the lug nuts, and as mentioned, 35-point deduction for drivers and owner points for violation of any of those two. But we found out this week that really didn't turn out that way. Here it is. Starting with the two big ones, the 78 and the 48 teams. Both teams failed the laser inspection 2 times. Nope. This is the second week in a row for the 78 failing the laser inspection. 78 crew chief Cole Pearn says it is what it is. Kind of a bummer on the day, but whatever. You know, he finished off saying it was kind of crappy. But Furniture Row Racing accepted NASCAR's ruling and they released a statement by the team on Monday saying, quote, the right rear, and here it is, the right rear of our car was well within the tolerance margin, which showed that we were trying to be conservative. However, the left rear wheel alignment was off by approximately 10 thousandths of an inch, which in high probability was due to damage in that area as a result of being hit by the number 4 car. Of course, that would be Kevin Harvick, and this was reported on Monday. Now, here's what happened on Wednesday. Now, the 48 team didn't come out with anything. Okay, so this I found out about it on Monday. Did a write-up, and here's what comes out on Wednesday. It turns out that the 78 and the 48, it was announced that there will be no penalties for the 78 or for the 48 team either. So now that would have had major implications because the penalties for drivers, as mentioned, 35 points deduction in both drivers and auto points. So we'll take it 1 week at a time. Now, some other teams, however, did receive penalties. That would be the 16 and the 43. Now, usually though, with the laser inspection and the lug nut, I think it's like a P2 or something, right? There's like the 6 levels, P1 through P6. I think P3 though is when drivers get suspended and stuff. And usually they give you a couple warnings, right? They give you a couple warnings, and then boom, then they get you. But the 16 and 43 teams received penalties. 16 driver Greg Biffle, 43 driver Eric Almirola. 16 and 43 teams received P3 penalties for lug nut violation, not having lug nuts properly installed during Sunday's race at Chicago. Crew chiefs Drew Blickendorf for the number 43 and Brian Patty for the number 16 were both fined $10,000. Other Sprint Cup drivers received written warnings. The number 14 team received a warning for failing pre-race template inspection 3 times, and as a result, the 14 team loses 15 minutes of practice at New Hampshire. 14, driven by Tony Smoke Stewart. Numbers 10 and 41, the 14, 10, and 41 old teammates, Stewart Haas Racing. 10 and 41 received warnings for failing pre-race laser inspection. Also, the 2, 24, 48, and the 88 teams received warnings for failing pre-race template inspection 2 times. So the 10, 41, Danica Patrick and Kurt Busch, 2, Brett Keselowski, Chase Elliott in the 24, Jimmy Johnson in the 48, and Alex Bowman in the 88. Alex Bowman, who was driving the 88 on Sunday. So that was the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And as for NASCAR Xfinity Series, the number 2 team received a warning for failing pre-race template inspection 3 times. The number 2 car was driven by Paul Menard on Saturday. And in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, the number 18 team, the 18 truck, which won Friday's race, the 18 team received a P2 penalty for tailgate height measurements outside of NASCAR's tolerances. Crew chief Wes Ward was fined $6,000, and the 18 team was docked 10 owner points. Now, this is interesting because they only docked owner points and not driver points. And as mentioned, 18 was driven by Kyle Busch on Friday. All right. We have a very late load this week, so we're going to just run right through it. I guess we could take some time to tell you what's going on next week, next year when we get back. You know, Motorsports Radio, as everybody said, takes a little break after the season is over, and then we return in February. So we're pretty much going to do the same thing. I think the only changes is that we're going to do the Xfinity Series and Camping World Truck Series race reviews the day after, only because it's still got the mojo from the day before. So we're going to do that kind of in the morning. So, like, if we have a truck race on Friday, we'll do Xfinity truck review on Saturday morning or Saturday midday, and then the Xfinity Series the day after. And then, but on Monday night, we'll still do Sprint Cup Series. Now, after saying all that, you can listen any time on demand, podcast times. We just put the podcast times out there just to let everybody know that's when we're doing the podcast. But you can listen at any time on demand. CommunityRadioLI.com/motorsports, or click the Motorsports Radio button. But next year, in 2017, we're actually going to have a separate web page for Motorsports Radio at motorsportsradio.net. Now, don't go there now because there's nothing on there yet. Okay, I shouldn't even tell you what this site is, but, you know, this is between you and me. And we're going to get some flyers made and hit all the tracks. So I got one track I'm going to go to first, and hopefully they'll let me get in there and hand out some flyers, and I get to watch some racing. We got a little track out here at Eastern Long Island, out in Riverhead, and I think it's going to be pretty neat. And some good stuff. And we're going to put some videos up on there. So it's going to be the same setup as we're doing this year. MR1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which works out pretty good. And this new format that we have for Motorsports Radio works out even better. Unfortunately, Racing Podcast was on live support, so we had to switch things up to liven things up, if you will. So, again, same setup as we're doing right now. So the only difference is, again, we'll do Xfinity and the trucks the day after, over the course of the weekend, and then Monday night will be Sprint Cup, and we'll see how that goes. And, you know, if it turns out that Monday is a sweet spot, but what happens is that a lot of energy gets drawn out from going over, because we always do the Sprint Cup Series races first, and so you got all this energy coming out from that, just going over that one race, and then there's 2 more to do